You're probably in a situation where you've tried to grow a home-based business, you've tried different things online, and it just didn't work out for you. And it didn't work out for you for a very specific reason. We're going to get into that specific reason, but we're not just going to give you why you weren't able to do it. We're actually going to give you an opportunity to succeed with a totally different mindset, with a totally different set of rules. Because the set of rules that you've operated under was, hey, I joined this thing and I have to sell it. If I'm an affiliate of this thing, I have to sell it. If I'm a network marketer inside of a company, I have to recruit. It's the worst selling ever. I have to sell people on me. I have to sell people on an opportunity that's probably not going to work out for them and mathematically has failed over and over again. And that's the cycle that most people come into the home-based business arena with. They come in, they look at a business opportunity, what it offers them is a way to get other people in, and that's how they make money. And that system has failed people over and over again since its inception, since the beginning. Yes, you will have success stories. Yes, there are people that can go to the top. That's great for them. But mathematically, the masses fail with that. So what we want to do is teach you how to not try to go out there and be pushy and try to get people to join you in something, but we want to teach you how to grab money, reach up and take money that's already out there, low-hanging fruit. Because the reality is right now, online shopping and the way people go about their day-to-day operations in their life, they use the internet to buy stuff to the tune of billions and billions of dollars a day. Well, these companies that they're buying stuff from, they want to give you money. And that might sound crazy, but they do. And here's how that works. And I like talking about my coffee cup because it is my favorite coffee cup in the world. I bought this. If I were to buy this online, somebody produced it, somebody manufactured it, somebody sent it somewhere to get packaged, shipped, kicked over to another company where I purchased it from. A bunch of things happened before I purchased it, all right? And all those folks got to make money off of me purchasing this coffee cup. What we're going to do is teach you how to wiggle in and be one of those people that makes money when I buy this coffee cup. Whenever a transaction happens on the internet, whenever somebody buys something, we want them to buy it from you, or you have some way, shape, or form that you're earning from that, just like all the other stepping stones and the people in that process. And we've been doing this successfully since, training people how to do this successfully since September 2013. And it's been wildly successful. We've had tons of people make a lot of money by inserting themselves into that e-commerce process. It's simple. Anyone can really get up and do this. And with most stuff you can't say anyone can do this because it takes a mindset, it takes a kind of person, it takes a person who can present, who can talk, who can speak, who can get other people to believe in what they're doing. This takes none of that. You could literally do this with your camera off behind the screens and no one even knows you're doing it, but you're making an income. That's how powerful this is. And we have a lot of people doing it right now. So that process of inserting yourself in that sale is what you're going to learn here tonight. And if you haven't started doing this already, or if you've been on the fence and seen this, it's time for you to go ahead and jump in and become a student in here and learn and leverage the tools and systems that we're about to show you. That we have for you today to do all those things. Okay, so I'm going to turn this over actually to Hitesh Juneja. He is one of the masterminds behind the platform that you're going to get to leverage tonight, and he's going to walk you through how this works. So Hitesh, are you here with us, my friend?
Yes, I am here, and can you see my screen?
I gotcha.
Okay, beautiful. Well, when you introduced me as a mastermind, it makes me sound pretty evil, but in reality, it's not as much of a mastermind. It's more, let's call me a facilitator, okay? Because my job is more analyzing things online. I'm kind of a mathematical guy. I look at things and go, oh, can we systematize this? Can we automate this? So one of the things that I've been able to do is been very successful with online marketing for a pretty long period of time now. I've actually been in business for coming up a decade. So here's the problem though, okay? Almost everything that I did in the past, and actually what I'm doing even now, is not stuff that can be replicated by everyone else. That's what Kevin was referring to. So let me walk you guys through a very quick process. And as I walk you through this, it'll become immensely clear why the average person literally cannot make money in almost anything online. Okay? Here's the usual process that you have been taught. The first thing you do is you join a company or you get a product that you become an affiliate of to sell. Okay, so let's say you join some, I don't know, some MLM company, or you become an affiliate of some product online that you're going to promote, whatever, okay, or promote something. Okay, so first thing is you're already beginning in your journey to failure because you're already locked in. There is something that you're going to have to promote, some fixed lotion that you're going to talk about the benefits, how it's going to beautify you or whatever. And right there, your path to failure begins, because now you have to do the second step. The second step is that you're going to have to get traffic, right? If you heard these dreaded terms and words, you have to generate leads and traffic to get these sales. Okay, so now you got to get leads and traffic to make the sale. Okay, that's just how it goes. You're going to have to find other people who are interested in buying this specific item, and then you have to try to get them to buy it. You have to convince them to buy it. Okay, so that's your first, third step in the whole process, is you have to actually convince them to buy it. Okay, so let's put convince them, which is in more disgusting terms called sales and marketing. So convince them to buy it. Okay. Do you realize why this is already set up for failure? It's already set up for failure because you have been locked into a type of mindset that now you have this one thing and you have to go out and promote it, and then you have to convince the people to buy it. And the reason why this is the most popular way to do business, and this is why this is the primary offer out there, is that the company or the individual behind this product makes a bunch of money. So of course he's going to tell you, or the company is going to tell you, now go out and sell our lotions or potions or our pills or our house cleaner, whatever it is. Go out, share it with your friends and family, get them to buy it, and we will give you a percentage of the money from that. Okay, there's nothing really wrong with it morally, except that they make you believe that you're going to be successful. And mathematically, first let's say statistically, okay, so the stats show us that 97% plus of people who try this path make no money at all. Okay, they actually make less money than they put into the system. Okay, that's the first terrifying things about it. The other problem is actually the math behind it. Mathematically, even if this system was working at its perfect efficiency, because this is the excuse people like to use, right? They'll always say, well, if you fail, you just didn't try hard enough, or if you failed, you just didn't have the right skill set, or you didn't apply yourself, or you didn't have the mindset, or you weren't motivated. They'll say some ridiculous thing like that. The reality is that mathematically, even if the system was working perfectly, 93% of people would still fail. Because the number of people you need within your downlines or the number of sales you need to make it work is just simply impossible. You can put the entire world into the system. You could take 100,000 of the best marketers and put them into the system, and they would still fail. Okay, so here's a very simple way to fix this whole problem. This is why I drew this chart out. Let's go the opposite way. Okay, let's not begin with a product here. Let's actually begin over here, where you first find out what are people buying. Okay, so that's where we're going to begin. The first question is going to be, what are people buying? Okay, and we're actually going to show you this very, very specifically. We are not going to care what type of an item it is, and we're not going to look for just one thing either. We don't care if they're buying toasters, we don't care if they're buying furniture, if they're buying some dish cleaner, if they're buying a piano, if they're buying a telescope, whatever it is, it can be anything that they are buying online. Okay, that's the first thing. Then, instead of us generating the traffic, we are going to the place where people are. Okay? So instead of trying to generate traffic now to these products, we will just literally go to places where the traffic already exists. So we're going to go to some of the biggest sites in the world. We're going to go to sites like eBay and Amazon and Bonanza and so on. There's all sorts of different sites online where people are selling these things and buying these things. We're not going to waste our time trying to generate traffic ourselves. Let somebody else do that for you. Okay? So we're not going to do anything there. Just go to the platforms where the buyers already are. Note that up until this point, I have not said anything or done anything that you can't do. This is actually very simple. And finally, the third step is let the people buy whatever they want. That's it. Now, here's how you make money in this entire process. Instead of you first buying a product, okay, which means, and this is again the thing that people tell you, that you're going to buy low and then you're going to sell high. You guys have all heard that saying, right? Buy low, sell high. That's how you make money. Let's flip that around. Let's instead say, first we will sell high and then we will buy low. Okay? Does that sound a little bit better? Now you have no risk. We're not going to say let's go out and buy a ton of inventory and let's stack it up in our house and then go pitch it to people. We're instead going to say let's go out there and put out our feelers, let's put out items out there, and when somebody buys it from us, then we will purchase it from somewhere else. So let me give you an example. Very simple example. Let's say that you decide, you look around, you're like, okay, a telescope. Okay, I am actually just mentioning that because I have a telescope in my office, and my kids and I go out and look at the moon and the planets and stuff like that every now and then. So we say that we're going to take a look at this telescope, and let's say that I find out that I can buy it for $100. Okay, I'm literally going to go and look up, are people buying this telescope? I find yes. I go to a platform, let's say eBay. Okay, I'm going to go to eBay, and I'm going to list the item for, let's say, $150. Now somebody comes and purchases a telescope that I don't own, comes and purchases this telescope for $150. Okay, so I find this item, $100 telescope on Amazon. I list it on eBay for $150. Somebody comes to eBay, buys it from me. Okay, so they've just purchased, they've given me $150. Then I take 100 of that, I go out there and I buy it from Amazon and send it to the user. This is called arbitrage, which is what majority of the business in the world is. Okay, you are taking an item from one place, putting it somewhere else. Somebody is interested in it. Somebody is willing to pay good price for it because people have different ideas on what they're willing to pay for something. That's how all business in the world functions. And you basically make the profit in the middle. Now, there are going to be some fees that I'm going to pay eBay. I'm going to pay some PayPal fees, some eBay fees, all that stuff. After removing all of that, I'm basically going to end up making something like a $26, $27 profit on this particular sale. Okay, so we're actually going to show you guys some examples of stuff like this. You can go out there and start doing it pretty much immediately. Okay, now here is the one key difference between what I'm just talking about and then what you're going to see these guys do here in a second. So we have a couple of people on here, on this panel, who are actually using this system. They're doing this stuff right now. And they're doing it very successfully. I think Matt McCormick, who's going to walk you guys through some stuff, is doing this exact same thing. He's doing arbitrage and doing somewhere around $500 a day or something in net profit. I think maybe a little more than that.
All right, sounds good. Hey guys, so while I'm sharing my screen, my name's Matt McCormick. I'm 23 years old. I joined DS way back in the beginning as well, August of 2013. I started out drop shipping on eBay, and just like Kenya, I didn't really believe it would work either. Well, I believed it would work somewhat. I believed I could make my initial money back and a little bit from there. My dad didn't believe it would work at all. So I ended up listing 3 or 4 items on eBay and just kind of sitting there. And eventually, I think it was probably 2.5 weeks later, one of them sold, and it was out of stock. And we have software to take care of that now. We didn't back then, but it was out of stock. So my phone went cha-ching, and I said, ha, take that, Dad. Something did sell. And then it was out of stock. And, well, you know, not good, right? Then my second item that I sold, about a couple days after that, it actually had a price change on it. And these are some of the objections we've taken care of since that you guys are going to see in a minute here. But second item was a price change, and it was like a $6 loss. And my dad said, oh, well, why don't you just go give stuff away, right? But I stuck with it a little bit, ended up listing a couple hundred items on eBay. Transitioned to Amazon, where I do most of my sales now. I do about $120,000 in sales a month on Amazon, $12,000 to $15,000 a month profit, literally just drop shipping. So let's take a look on eBay here and see if we can have a little bit of luck. Now, just to be fun, I like to search random things. Storage is good, Kenya, but I haven't eaten dinner yet, so the first thing when Hitesh told me I was gonna have to do this that came to my mind is I don't like to cook. I'm gonna have a hot dog tonight. So I searched put hot dog in here in Amazon, and what you see down here in the list are just some suggested searches of what people, might type in after hot dog, the most popular things. So I looked at some of these and I said, well, geez, a hot dog cart kind of looks cool. So I clicked on that. All right, and from there, I'm just gonna go randomly. So this first hot dog cart, this little green hot dog cart, it's $49.99. If I go over to eBay and just search for the hot dog cart, you'll see that same picture here a couple times. You'll see it was $49.99 on Amazon, $59.23. So let's take a look here. $59.23. You'll see this guy sold two of them. It's about an $11 markup. They are both for $59.23. But he only made a few dollars on that. If you take out your 12% eBay fees, he probably made $2 or $3. Let's see if we can find something better. This guy is like me in the beginning, giving away hot dog carts. So one thing you should notice is that even though there is a guy giving away hot dog carts right here, two people decided, nope, I'm gonna spend $34 more and buy this hot dog cart. Let's see if we can get any more expensive. So here's one. It's $70.99. Again, that's over a $20 markup, a $21 markup. 24 people watching it. And take a look. You'll see they sold three of those for a $21 markup. Two of them were for the $70.99. All right. So $21 markup minus your 12% eBay fees. They made about $12, $13, $14 on this times two. They made $24 on this hot dog cart. And again, it's the most expensive one that we've looked at so far. And you'll see more hot dog carts. You'll see $74.06. You'll see $64.47. Right in between the two prices. This guy sold 6 hot dog carts, right? Let's take a look at the prices here. He sold it for the only one that's showing is $63.17, but pretty close to that price. All profitable, right? And it's really that easy. And you could then go through any of these sellers. You could go through this guy here. He has 1,144 feedback. He probably has a lot of other items you could look through as well. He has a coffee maker that cooks your breakfast at the same time. That's actually kind of cool if I like to cook. A blender, another blender. This guy likes blenders. Another blender. There's our hot dog thing. So you could go through this guy's stuff. He only has a few items up. Take a look, 14 items, and he has 1,144 feedback. Literally just drop shipping like we are. So it doesn't take a ton of items. I only have a few hundred, do hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales, and you can just repeat that process. So I don't know what else.
If I can point out something quick, Mac, there's
Yep.
one of the points that you made. You said, well, he's only making $3 on this item, right? Now let's hold on a second. Now $3 for an item might not be much to you at this point.
Actually,
Yeah, hold on for a second and think about it though. If you could make $3 on something that you're doing nothing for, you're not stocking the item, you're not doing literally anything, and in fact, you are getting the profit before you ever put any money into it. That's actually pretty cool. I mean, you could have a 12-year-old kid doing this stuff. In fact, we have kids doing this stuff right now in the company.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I definitely don't discount the $3 profits. A lot of people do, and I do have some things listed that are $3 profits. But if they sell 2, 3, 4 times a day, well, that's an extra $12 a day. That's an extra $4,000 a year off one silly item, right? So, it's cool that you can get a $3 profit off the hot dog cart, but there's people making a $15 profit as well, even with the cheaper one being, the $25 one sitting here, the $70 one sitting here, and more people. Well, we didn't click on this one, but 6 people bought the $25 one. 6 people bought the $64 one, right? So the price is almost irrelevant. And you could do this with any random word you want. One thing I showed people on my team is this, and this was just kind of random. Somebody on my team needed help coming up with a word, and I, kind of to be mean, I said, well, why don't you search ketchup? And they said, you can't sell ketchup on eBay. So I don't really know if you can sell ketchup on eBay. So I took a look, and I searched ketchup, and I ran across this big jug of ketchup here, and probably more ketchup than you'd ever eat in your life, but it's $17.06. You can actually get it down here for cheaper, $5.95 and $8.49. It's like $13 for the ketchup. And take a look. If you look at the ketchup on eBay, Here's a ketchup for $24.99, so an $11 or $12 markup on your ketchup. Comes with a free squeeze bottle. 7 ketchup sold for this guy. Here's one for $23.71, so still a $10 markup. He sold a ketchup, right? Here's another. Let's see if we can find another ketchup. Most expensive ketchup yet, I think, $99, and he sold 7 ketchups, right? So $3.75, 1 sold, and we literally cannot even find a ketchup, a big random jug of ketchup that has not sold on eBay for more than on Amazon. So pretty much anything you list for any price you list it for is gonna sell. It's kind of silly, but there you go. You guys now know ketchup is too expensive on eBay. So I'll pass it back to you, Hitesh. And now we have hot dogs and ketchup, and that was actually totally random. I wasn't planning on doing the ketchup thing. So
no, that's great. This is actually exactly what we want. Oh, actually, and pause for just 1 second, because we don't want to give the impression that, look, things are always more expensive on eBay. They're not, because if you actually scroll down on this Amazon listing, Matt, if you can go down a little bit on the Amazon listing.
Yep.
For the ketchup?
Oh, on the Amazon.
On the Amazon one, yeah. So you can see that there are other places and there are other vendors on Amazon itself that are also cheaper than what is selling on for Amazon. And there are other places out there in the world where it's cheaper, and there are other places out there in the world where it's much more expensive. That's the whole point. The point is that across the world, across the US, in different locations at different times, the same item will be priced differently. And you just have to get in on the action. And actually, this was perfect. This was really so perfect, because the very first concern that people should have, the very first question that you should be asking, and I hope that you guys are skeptical like we have been skeptical in the past, the very first question you should ask is, how do I know what item will sell? I just saw Kenya go through it, and she wasn't able to find a good item. I just saw Matt show me a couple examples. How do I know what item will actually sell and won't sell? Okay, so that's actually the first objection that I actually literally wrote out over here before the presentation. All we're doing right now is we're looking at examples of where Amazon is the source of our product, and then eBay is our marketplace. We're looking for items that are a certain price on Amazon and they're worth more on eBay, and have successfully sold on eBay for more. And we're just trying to get in on that action, right? Very, very easy stuff. In fact, this is exactly what you would be doing in any situation. Just the whole problem is that in other situations, you have to put up your money, you have to put up your time, and then you hope that you will make some money, which we already know statistically doesn't happen 95% or more of the time. In this scenario, we will only get in on something when we know it will be profitable. So let me show you guys how this works. So like I said, back in September 2013, we put this out as a training thing. Let's show you guys how it works. Obviously, very eye-opening for most people that you could do something like this. But then come the questions, how do we make this actually happen in reality for everybody in an automated way? Okay, so there's a very interesting challenge that we undertook, and I assure you that nobody else has ever done something like this, and I'm going to prove to you guys why this is so unique. So let me see if I can put my screen share on my this page right here. Okay, are you able to see my screen right now? You should be seeing the DS Domination platform.
You see it. Gotcha.
All right, beautiful. So here's what I did just now. While Matt was talking, I came in here and I went to the tools and I went to product search, because I want to find what can I sell profitably and what can I sell that's good. So I typed in crossbow, okay? And that's just because I'm down in Texas. It's like demanded of me that I talk about crossbows while on a webinar. So I guess I have to. So here's what I did. Yeah, I typed in a crossbow. I own three of them. So I typed in a crossbow, and now there's all these products, and you just saw Matt kind of show you in a manual way. Kenya showed you in a manual way. Here's what we're gonna do. First of all, we're looking for items above $35, right? So I'm gonna type in greater than 35. Then I'm gonna type in show me only items that have greater than 100 reviews, because I only want popular products. And I only want good products, so show me only products that are greater than, let's say, 4.3 in rating, 4.4, whatever. So let's look at those. Oh, look at that. It just basically compressed the whole thing down and found the one product for me. And here's the great thing about it. This shows me the old price. That's kind of the market idea. This kind of gives you the idea of what is it worth in the marketplace. What do other people associate as a price point for this product? And that's $199. And it's available right now on Amazon for $119. Okay, so right there in front of your eyes, completely unplanned, we have already found an item that can be a successfully selling item for us. Okay, but this is a numbers game. It's all about how quickly can we find items, how quickly can we put them up, and then just roll through the entire process. So that's our first objection answered, right? Where do I sell? How do I find those items? Okay, now we found the item. Now, how do I actually list it? Okay, that's the other thing. How do I actually list it? List this quickly enough that it's worth my time. What should I list it for? How do I rank that item? How do I make sure it actually sells on eBay? I just saw these other people's items that weren't selling on eBay. I don't want to be a guy whose item doesn't sell. So here's what we're going to do. We click on Build eBay Listing. Okay, and that brings us over, close this extra page, right here. And it's telling me that we're making now a listing for this item. So I'm going to type in Crossbow right here, click on Show Suggestions, and it's telling me what category to list the item in. Here are the keywords that are being searched for on eBay for this particular item. If you watch this training video, it shows you exactly what you need to do now to get ranked on page 1 of eBay for the right keywords. Okay, we actually have hundreds of users who are literally ranking on page 1 within minutes of using this system. So our system is going to go in here. You can actually create a listing right here. What we're going to do is we can see down here what keywords are being used. Okay, and whatever keywords apply, we could say crossbow with, if this one comes with a scope, we'll take a look if it comes with a scope or not, but with scope, and we see that hunting is a popular keyword right here, so we can say hunting crossbow with scope and continue from there. Again, the training covers exactly how to create a title, but our system just told you exactly what to do. It also is telling you which category you should be using for the most amount of exposure, so most people are likely to look at it. And then when you come down here, you just say how much money you want to make. So you say, I want to make a 10% profit on this item. And this right here calculates what price you want to sell this for. All I have to do is make sure that my listing price here is below my old price here. And I know that I have a pretty competitive shot now at making a good profit on here. Okay, that's literally all we're doing. You can actually play around with this and say, well, I'll be happy with a 12% profit on a $120 product. Right, basically, I'm going to be making somewhere like 40 bucks in profit on this particular item then. So everything is already pre-selected for you. You already know how to go about this. You don't have to select. You don't have to figure out what shipping service do I use, what settings do I use. The training and the system already take care of all of that. And lo and behold, all of the details of the product are already in here too. You don't have to go figure out how to sell this item. You just go in here and you just basically fill it out. Look at that. It tells you right here. It's 175 pounds. It comes with a scope, comes with a quiver and 4 arrows. And look at that. These are the keywords being searched for, right? Scope, arrows, and what poundage. So you're going to say 175 pounds plus 4 arrows. And this will tell you how many characters we have to go and so on. Again, training will walk you through exactly what to do here. We'll just go through our shipping and return policies already selected for us. Our images are right here. We'll just check this image right here. And we can go through, we'll just breeze through the entire process. Our category will be selected from over here. We can just click on a category. And then we can go ahead and let the system do the management for us as well. What that means is if this item, let's say that I list this item right now for 160, right? But it's selling on Amazon for 119. But what happens, let's say that tomorrow morning, the price on Amazon goes up to 140. What will end up happening is that if this product sells now on eBay, by the time I go and buy it from Amazon, I'll be in a loss. Okay, that price fluctuation will kill me. So this system, actually, when you create your listing, is going to now go ahead and manage your listing on eBay. It'll go and check the price on Amazon every few hours, and it's going to say, oh, look, the price went up to 140, and we want to make a 10% profit margin, so it's going to automatically raise your product here to about 198 to make sure that you remain profitable. So you can forget about this issue of what happens with price fluctuations and what happens if it goes out of stock or whatever. And then comes the question of how do I make sure the whole process is working? That's why you have very in-depth training on how to manage the customers and so on and so forth. Okay. Now, you should again be asking a very obvious question. This looks really cool. This looks really awesome. It kind of automates the whole thing. I'm sure this thing is going to cost a lot more money, right? Because back 2 years ago, when this was the training thing, we were charging $20 a month. So what's it now when you have all of this stuff happening and all of these things that are managing everything? So let me actually show you guys what that now looks like. And this is what I promise would be very unique. There is nobody else who does this. Have you ever gotten on webinars like this before, or gotten a presentation like this before, and there's somebody, you know, fast-talking guy, hopefully not with an Indian accent, and is promising you the world and is showing you something, and usually they don't show you something like this, right? They don't actually show you the logical process that's going to make you money. They just literally show you some screenshots of them making money, and then they tell you, give us $1,000 and we're going to show you how to do it too. You know that thing doesn't work. You know that most of the time that stuff is a scam. So here is what we did, and here is the question that we used to get. People would say, if this thing is so good, why don't you let us make money first before you charge us? We thought that's a pretty neat question. So here's what we did. So $19.95 a month is what we had to have, right? We actually, as a company, we barely break even on this, because between all of our costs, you know, hosting and all that stuff, and then we have affiliates that we have to pay for and whatnot, we actually make about 18 cents on this product on its full payout. Okay, so this is not our interesting thing. This is not where we are making money as a company. Okay, and I think it's better for us to be transparent with you on how we are making money. Why do we want to sell you this stuff? If it's so good and if it's so great, why do we want to sell you this stuff? Here's why. Here is a model that no other company in the world has, and no other company is going to even try. Okay. So you use all of our system, all of our tools that we just showed you. Okay, this whole process that finds you an item, that lists the item for you, that tracks the item for you. Here is when we make money. When you make a sale, okay, when you actually use our system and you actually make your first sale, that's when we take 0.5% of your sale. So you literally pay us out of the profits that you make. Nobody else will do that, because nobody else can actually assure you that their system works. So in our case, what we do is we say, you know what? You can join this. You can use our training just like you used to in the past. We barely make any money on it, because that's not where we're going to make our money. We're going to make our money from this stuff right here. So you know this crossbow? Let's say that you went and sold this crossbow for $160. We're going to basically come in and take 0.5% of that. That means that we're going to take 80 cents out of that. By the way, that 80 cents was already included in the calculation of the price remember when our system was calculating what you need to sell it for to have the right profit margin, to take care of all your eBay fees and PayPal fees and everything else. That already includes your sales tax and your fees for using our system. So when you sold it for $160 or $164, whatever the price was, you're going to make a 10% profit after this cost is taken out. So we won't make any money unless you are making money using the system, which I think is as strong as you can get. There's literally nobody else out there who has something like that or would even attempt something like that, because they do not have a system that works. Now, we know the system works. Here's how. For nearly 2 years now, we have tracked a lot of members. Like I said, we have 120,000 accounts that have been created in the DS Domination system. Okay, so this is the largest e-commerce arbitrage platform in the world. Okay, this is not some fly-by-night ebook seller or something silly like that. So we have tracked a lot of these people's listings. Actually, our system was tracking over 1 million listings on eBay, and we calculate what do our people sell the product for, how much is the profit margin they make in there, and so on and so forth. So we've actually got this down to a pretty much an exact science, and we can look at that and go, we know that we will make money as a company if we let people use our software for virtually free. Okay, that's why we can give you the entire software that manages everything for free. It's no extra cost compared to the training. Okay, so somebody, now again, why would somebody invite you to a webinar like this? This is why. Somebody would invite you to a webinar like this, and this is complete transparency, which is something else that's lacking online quite a bit, and in politics too, but we'll talk about that some other time. But in general, the reason why somebody invited you to this webinar today is that when you join DS Domination for this $19.95 a month, they will basically get a percentage of that. Okay, and that's why we don't get to keep this money. Okay, this actually goes to pay to the person who introduced you to this, who brought you to this platform. And then they're actually going to also make part of this 80 cents. We don't keep the whole 80 cents. Part of this 80 cents is going to go to the person who brought you to this webinar. So the incentive of the person who is sharing this webinar with you or inviting you to this hangout or whatever, their incentive is that when you are successful, when you start making money, then they're going to make a little bit of money as well. Now, can you guys tell me how many times I said or used the phrase that you will be able to make money because you'll recruit so many people? Did I ever mention recruiting? Nope, because you don't have to recruit anybody. Did I ever mention convincing people or making sales in the format of trying to sell somebody the dream and trying to get them into the system or whatever? No, you don't have to, because the system just simply works. You're not going out there trying to convince people to buy something they don't need. You're literally going to them, you're literally just putting up a listing of an item that they're already interested in, and they're just coming to buy it, and you're just the guy sitting there who is making some money in the entire process. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. You're going to use the software. It's going to show you the products to sell. It's going to make the listing for you. It's going to manage the listing for you. You're not going to pay anything for that entire process, except for when you make a sale. Somebody comes to eBay, looks at your item, goes ahead and buys it. Then you go to Amazon and place the order on their behalf. That's all. That is literally all you do. Amazon goes ahead and ships the crossbow to your buyer out in Alabama or something, so they can hunt hogs. I don't know what they're going to do with it, but you are not involved in the process at all. You will not ever get the crossbow to your doorstep. You're not going to have to buy it and ship it out to somebody. You don't have to go to the post office and say, hey, I need to send this thing that fires projectiles at 300 feet per second. You don't have to do any of that. You literally just go to Amazon, you place the order and forward the order. You put the shipping address as the address of your buyer from eBay. That's what dropshipping / this arbitrage model is. And it's so easy, it's so ridiculously easy that it kind of blows people's minds when they see this, because they're like, how did I not think about this? How did I not know about this? But this is how every company in the world exists. Do you think Amazon manufactures everything that they have on there? No. Manufacturers and sellers go on there, they list their item. And now note something else. You can play around with this. eBay doesn't have to be your marketplace all the time. In fact, for Matt, and maybe Matt you can talk about it a little bit, for Matt, his marketplace is usually Amazon. He actually sells on Amazon, not on eBay. You can sell on other places online, not just on eBay. And you don't have to just stick with Amazon. You can sell it. You can get products from other places, which is all the stuff that we cover. We show you all of that in training. We give you different stores and so on. And this $20 a month thing, okay, that's basically one pizza for the family at this point. This thing is what we call DS Domination Pro. This whole training, along with this whole process for the software that automates everything, we call this thing Pro, and that's what the $20 a month thing is. That's why you've heard people say on Facebook over and over, well, I joined this $20 a month thing, a year ago, and I can't be happier because today, look at my sales. Look at what I'm doing on eBay. I haven't recruited anybody, and I'm still making a lot of money. In fact, and Kevin, I don't know if you can play this video for us. We held an event in Dallas a month ago, not even a month ago, 23 days ago. We had over 1,000 people there, and when you ask the question, how many of you are making money using the system? How many of you are profitable? Over 90% of the people at the event raised their hands, because that's how successful this is. This is so logical. This is not based on you being a good salesperson. This is not based on you being the good-looking guy or gal who goes out there and can make sales of the lotion that you're selling or the makeup that you're selling. This is not based on you being able to recruit. This is not based on you being a good marketer online. This is not based on you knowing how to generate traffic and run PPC campaigns. This is simply you clicking a few buttons and inserting yourself in the process. Okay, that's all. So the final question is always, how do I join this thing? How do I know this thing is safe to work with, and so on? And that's very easy. You're on our Hangout page right now. Below this, there is a link. You can follow that link, and you're going to be credited to whoever referred you to this Hangout, to this presentation, and you can thank them for it later, because pretty much always you're going to end up thanking them instead of cussing them out for bringing you into an MLM or something. You're going to be pretty thankful that this person shared this with you. So you can actually go ahead and just share this with them and just go through the process and the checkout process. Kev, maybe you can show them the process of the checkout as well so they can see what it's going to look like. And that's basically it. That's how easy it is. Now, if you have any questions about this process, we wholeheartedly welcome you to ask your questions and ask any issues that might crop up. In fact, I'll actually bring up other issues with this because we don't want you to join unless you're absolutely sure. And I already see a question coming up, people saying, what are all these other levels in your back office? Because when they saw the back office. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to put a full screen share on so they can see the whole thing, so I don't have to keep turning it on and off. Okay, so people are like, what were these other things? Okay, we don't even talk about these other things because we want you guys making money first before you even think about this other stuff. But I'm going to walk you through what this means. The way we have this whole thing set up, it's designed to be a journey to take you from somebody who is not making anything right now to eventually having a very successful business of your own. Okay, and so here's how that basically goes. Pro is what we just explained to you. You're literally going to grab products, list them up, make the arbitrage difference profit. That's what you're going to do. Elite is a more expensive level. That's the next step up. We do not ask you guys to buy it. You should only get it after you're profitable. Okay, that's why there is no sales pitch here. We're not trying to get you to buy something expensive from us. Only buy this when you're making profits from Pro. In Elite, you're going to get other places that you can sell, not just on eBay, and you're going to get other sources that you can get the products from. So instead of doing this thing right here with Amazon as a source and eBay as the marketplace, you're going to have all these other sources as well, other places that you can get products from. Many cases you can get products very, very cheaply, and you can sell a whole lot more. We have actually quite a few users who are well into the 5 figures a month profit range in the Elite section. Okay, so think of it something like this. We wanted to use Pro, start making $500 to $1,000 a month. That's our aim. That's what Pro aims for. Can you make more than that? Yes. Can you make less than that? Yes. But it's designed to get you to that level. Okay. Then get Elite, and Elite is aimed to get you to about the $2,000 to $3,000 a month level. Again, like I said, a lot of people are doing a lot more than that, but that's the design. Okay, get you to that point. After that, you can get other products because then we get into cashback. Because remember, you're driving sales for all these different sources, right? So these places usually like you a lot because you're driving so many sales for them, and they will give you cashback for it. They'll actually pay you to drive the sale. So not only do you make money here, you will also end up making money here when you're buying from these people. So we get into those levels afterwards. Then you can actually get into actually selling on Amazon and sourcing your own items and whatnot. But that's scary stuff, right? We don't want to confuse you. We don't want to talk about all these big things that you can do down the road. And unfortunately, most of the time when people sell things online, what they do is they parade out their biggest people in the company. They parade out the guy making $1 million. And we have people making well into 7 figures a year right now, selling on Amazon, selling on all this stuff. And we don't want to bring those out and give you guys false expectations. So our whole aim is try us out, okay? Test us out at this level. It's $20 a month, which is hardly anything. Go get started with that. Go through all the training. Use our software for free. We're not going to bill you anything for all the software. You will only pay us for the software a teeny tiny bit, 0.5% or less actually, when you start using the system and you start making sales. That's the only time you're going to pay us anything for it. Okay? Then move on, get to Elite, and then you can continue your journey down to Unleash, Monopoly, Genesis, and so on. That's why Matt and Kenya and many others, like thousands of others in our company, have been with us for nearly 2 years because they have been on this journey. They are continuing on that journey. Okay? And people don't stick around for 2 years in something that's not working for them. So I think that should address most of the questions that are coming in. Are there any more questions coming in, Kev, that I need to go over?
No, pretty much everything's been addressed, and I would love to. I like to keep these short because I want, if you're watching this for the first time, if you're looking at this and you've never seen this before, or if you've seen this once or twice and you're on the fence going, should I do this? It's $20. Do it. Get started. pro level. You're watching us on the page. Click on that button, get in, and get started. And then, you know, that's where I want you guys to do. That's what I want you to do right now. And I want to keep this short because I know what time it is. It's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right now, and I want to make sure that you guys have plenty of times to get in there, get started, because we've had a lot of members that make money in their first 24 hours with this system. All right, if you get in, you go through the training, you're going to use the automation, you're going to be up and running. You could have listings up before you go to sleep. You could be hearing that cha-ching go off. You could be making money tonight, and that's what I want you to do. So get started right now. Just go to, if you're watching this on YouTube, go to dsdomination.com/sign up. If you are on the actual website watching this right now, then just click on the button to get started right now. Okay? Get started, get started, get started. I want you guys to have time tonight to go ahead and get your first listings up to get moving with DS. And I'd love to kind of wrap this up because I know I want you guys to get into profit tonight because we have had a lot of
And
members.
just one very critical point, because there are people who there's a question about, do we get any help along the way if I get stuck? Yes, you do. You can go to support, but more importantly, every week we have live trainings and live Q&A sessions with experts who are doing this right now and getting great results. There'll be one that I'll be doing tomorrow with one of our top guys who's doing about 100,000, I think, a month in sales on eBay. Yeah. We'll be on there. It's completely free for our members. So one of the reasons why you want to join tonight is that we want you to go through all the training, show up at our webinar tomorrow so you can ask all your questions, so you can go through the process with them, and any way that you get stuck, ask us about it. Okay? So again,
and then you can hop on our Facebook group as well. You know, you'll have access tonight. I mean, obviously tomorrow webinar can get started, and tomorrow you will have access to the opportunity call or to the Facebook group as well.